Islanders. The Young Islanders were champions of the Irish populace and international figures of glamour in the years either side of 1848, the height of the famine in Ireland and of revolution throughout Europe, and the year many of our characters were transported. Our journey, and that of the fanatic heart of John Mitchel, has an adventurous contour which gives his tale a momentum of its own. He documented a great deal of it in his famous at the time Jail Journal, never out of print since it was first published in the New York Irish Citizen in the mid-1850s and in book form in 1864. There was also abundant material in his letters and his subsequent writing for a string of papers of which he was either editor or to which he contributed. I must say it will be obvious this novel owes a massive debt to all these documents, and, to be honest with you, if he was still a living writer and possessed copyright in this material, I would have needed to print pages of acknowledgements at the end of the narrative and have come to some sort of fee-for-use arrangement with his agent and lawyers. That's one of the benefits of the novel set in the remoter past. Copyright has expired in the documents you use. This account takes Mitchel through pre-famine politics, the famine years in which he emerged as an internationally known Irish rebel, his transportation to Bermuda and then Van Diemen's Land, his life as a ticket-of-leave householder in Bothwell, his career as a famous escapee to America when he was acclaimed as the as-yet uninstalled President of the Irish Republic. The novel then observes his disenchantment with New York and a growing support of the South and even of its peculiar institution of slavery. Here we come to the danger inherent in writing this tale. It is perilous for any white man to write about that toxic American inheritance of African slavery and the theories of race that flowed from then respected but now debunked science such as phrenology. This study of skulls was an 18th and 19th century enthusiasm. The famed German Johann Blumenbach, who first used the term Aryan for skulls from the Caucasus, had in 1787 asked Captain Phillip to send him an Aboriginal skull from the new penal settlement in Botany Bay. Blumenbach, in his On the Natural Varieties of Mankind, written in 1795, even though he warned against racism, nonetheless gave comfort to exotic and indeed offensive race theories, including ultimately those of Hitler. Indeed, Australian settlers carried garbled versions of Blumenbach's exaltation of the Aryan into their war with the Aboriginals. Even early Southern mental doctors like Cartwright wrote theses on the psychology of slaves and their common mental disorder, drapetomania, or running away disorder. Many parts of the Bible were quoted in support of slavery, not least St. Paul's relationship with the slave Onesimus in the New Testament and his epistle to Philemon, who was a slave owner. And the apparent silence of Jesus on the matter was made much of. And most of all, science seemed to sing along with all race hysteria. The study of skulls applied to convicts in Australia, to stolen Aboriginal skulls, and to African slaves, always to their disadvantage, was a reason the 19th century world was run as it was. The truth is, it was far easier to support racial injustice in the 19th century than it is now, and yet we still manage it.